Hello and we're back. I'm Normal Player Guy, and now the World Tournament is actually finally over. Man, that is one grueling 3-day exchange of just chasing and chasing, and it's just tedious. A lot of fun if you can find someone who can actually push you to go all the way. I was in a good fight all the way up to 153 million points, but I did manage to secure first place locally. That will be my new LR, the Mercenary Tau, fully rainbowed, and that is also roughly around the 300 mark, I think, 311 specifically. Anyway, today's video will be the top 10 tournament summon units. Now, a lot of people just gloss over these and don't put any resources into them, but mark my words, some of these are absolutely incredible and give some of the older Dokkenfest exclusive units a run for their money. So going through into the top 10, and straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you number 2. And number 2 is Tech Gohan, Super Saiyan Tech Gohan. Some of these I've already featured, so I won't actually go into too much detail with them ones because you'll have to check out the other videos. But without further ado, this guy absolutely amazing. So stacks defense, so that's pretty good. Now he has a 158 at the start of turn, also really good. Now against one enemy, he has a 30% damage reduction. You factor that in with his stacking defense, he's really good. And of course, he gains an additional attack and defense 58% if there's another Goku category ally on the team. So he's a fantastic run for absolutely every single one of these. We are talking Hybrid Saiyans, Goku Family, Youth, Super Saiyan. Absolutely every single one of these you'll find a way. Now, I presume when he awakens, because don't forget, this is only a UR, that will probably be stacks attack and defense, and this might be against even, there might even be additional buff here where if there's something else more, but mark my words, this guy's absolutely insane. Better against one enemy, but he still has this going for him, even if you don't have that. So that's really, really good. Right then, so cracking into 10 and 9 is TNs, both the TNs. So we have the ints followed by the STR. The STR now awakens from this run of the tournament. So these are very, very largely similar. So this guy, he's really, really good, and he needs a bit of time to build up, and it's a little bit of RNG. But after all of his build up, it does actually help. Now you do need to run him particularly on the DB Saga, as he gets 10% attack and defense per. So to actually get anything out of him, yes, DB Saga, but as a little bit of overlap when you've got a World Tournament, DB Saga, and Earthlings, and he's really good on some of them. So if you're coming up against the Earthlings Super Battle Road, you can run this guy, but just please make sure you add in some of the others. So of course, he raises attack and defense for 9 turns, so you will see quite a few several stacks, of which he has a 70% chance of launching 2 additional attacks, each of which have a 50% chance to become into a super attack. So, flip the coin, a little bit of RNG, and yeah, you can see his defense work really, really well. Now, of course, the next one is the STRTN. So he just awakens, and he's a little bit better, but it depends on how you wish to go for it. You might find that in the longer events, you probably want to go for TN's supering stack effect with this guy. He's more for that Earthlings Super Battle Road. So he raises defense, that's the 30% raise, but he also lowers attack and defense. Now, straight off the bat, he has a big 2-key 180% attack and defense at start of turn. That is really, really good. Now, considering he only has 7,000 defense and 10,000 attack, he definitely needs this, but it makes him capable. Gets an additional 120% defense when facing one enemy, so depending on how your situation turns out, you might find that he's an absolute machine when it comes to that, but mark my words, you can still get the 180% to really work well for you. Now, you stun the attacked enemy for 2 turns, and that resets every time you pop into. So it's one. Actually, no, sorry. This one is a bit different. So you do quite a lot here, as it says. You will stun for 2 turns, 220% attack, and minus 30% defense when you super attack once. only. So in Earthling Super Battle Road, you can pop off a powerful super as a floater, as you're going to have a little bit of less defense, and you can just stun and if you go for crits, you could probably just take out flat out one enemy right off the bat. And of course, Earthling Super Battle Road and the Extreme Super Battle Road is absolutely savage. It's insane. You do need, of course, it runs on the back of Roshi and Tien, the LRs, but this guy can now be a really good use. From then onwards, it's an 80% attack when performing a super attack. This guy hits way, way harder than you think. He does hit harder than the int comparison, but the int comparison builds up to being a bit more defensively capable. Now that is our 9 and 10. And of course, now we will show the 7 and 8. And 7 and 8 is 18 and Vegito Android, 18 and Vegito Base. So first off, we have Vegito Base. Now, a great summon, a great pull, and his awakening was actually something really tremendous. He can help out so much if someone's Patara team just isn't that good. If you're struggling in some of the difficult content of Extreme Super Battle Road or Super Battle Road, this guy, especially in slot 1, can really turn the tide. You pair him up with a Candy Vegito, and the two of them are going to just dominate the rotation. Not offensively, but more what they could do. So he raises allies' attack by 25% for one turn, and that's actually really good how they put that, because in slot 1, he gains 2 key, an additional 120% chance to 120% to stats, and a 70% chance of evading any attack as the first attacker. So he gets 120% at the start of turn, an additional 120% and 2 key with a 70% chance of dodging for slot 1. And he raises allies attack. If he raised allies attack and defense, that would have been epic. But don't forget, he is actually doing that in his passive. You think. So you could have, let's see, you could have, in base form, if you had the 5th anniversary units before they transform, alongside, or perhaps even when they transform, you won't get as many of the links. You will give them a 30% attack and defensive buff, and then you'll raise their attack by a further 25%, making them much more capable in there. So this unit can really help out. You think the Patara lead, the Int LR, who's going to have his EZA, given that 30%, again, no key, but given that 30% buff with this 25%, with his 70% chance to dodge, and his big, basically 240 to stats in slot 1, he's kind of unstoppable. Hence, by his name, he is the unstoppable power. So moving on now, number 7, we have Android 18. Now, this actually, again, not recently awakened, so but still pretty good. Now, unfortunately, there are 2 others, maybe even 3 others with the Android 18 name. First is the tech one, which is good for Peppy Gals, has an EZA, and there's 2 STR 18s. That one's a movie boss and one's a Cell Saga support. And both of them have had EZAs and are good. But if you don't have the tech one specifically for Peppy Gals, you can run her. She's actually pretty decent. Raises attack and defense for 30% for 3 turns. You're going to see that with 100% at the start of turn, and additional 80% to stats after receiving an attack with a 50% chance to dodge. And of course, you gain a big 180% for 3 turns after an evading attack. So you can get hit once, you can dodge once, and that's what it works out as. And this girl does know how to operate. She can get hit once, then just dodge the rest of the attacks, and that's it. You set up and you put the resources into her, and she can perform, especially in Peppy Girls, Sibling Bonds, and even Androids. Just be careful that, again, there are better supports and slightly better, more harder hitting units with the same name. But if you're struggling and don't have a really good 18, this will be a good one. Now, of course, moving into the next, to round out the last 5, we have Pan. Pan is intoing the last, the latter of the 5. Now, Pan had an awakening not too long back, And he's good, but he's also has a really bizarre downfall. The downfall is she loses half her attack if she receives an attack, but defensively and utility wise, she makes it up. So she does stack attack and she does seal as well. So in Battlefield, if you need an AGL type to seal, this is your girl. Not only that, 150% to stats and a 50% off dodging. Uh, that's just flat out. And then you gain an additional attack and defense for 5 turns after evading. So you've got 250% defense with 150% attack and a 50% chance of dodge. That's for 5 turns. And of course, as the first attacker, so slot one, you're guaranteed to do a critical hit. Now, again, offensively, I don't know why that's in there, because you will find that even if you don't get hit with this, the crits just aren't going to work out well. And of course, chances are, even though you've got a 50-50 chance to dodge, you will get hit, even though you lose 50% attack and a guaranteed crit. That doesn't make any sense. It's weird. If this was I mean, if it's just bizarre that the part these two into each other. It doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't be so bad if this was 25 or 30%, but 50%, I don't know. But still, the fact that she has 150%, she has an additional 100% on dodge. If you actually get that dodge, you've got to dodge the first attack, can be quite good. Can be really good on any World Tournament teams, can be good on youth, can be good on Goku Family as a great support. So you would probably largely run this one on youth in slot one, and of course the seal is always very nice. So that rounds out the last five. So now we're entering into fourth and three. So fourth and three will be we have these two. So it's the Great Saiyaman, and that's the Great Saiyaman Super Saiyan 2, and that's the Gohan. And I'm actually going to put them in this order. And so the reason being is these two are very similar in what they do, but I've just found that this one here, this Super Saiyan Gohan, as his name's called, this one's the Great Saiyaman, is a little better. First off, he's called the Great Saiyaman Super Saiyan 2, so you can run him with the others as well. But you'll find this guy is good, and he's more so against an extreme class enemy with his additional buffs. So of course he greatly raises, that's a 50% turn. 50% raise to stats for 1 turn. He has a nice 70%, but he gains with each attack performed up to 58%. All in build, it works out really well. But what really sets him apart is he gives 3 key and 30% to stats. Compared into this one, which we'll look into next, he gives 2 key, 30% to stats. So he has a better passive, but he also has a far better support. He does gain an additional 3 key and 58% attack and defense against an extreme class enemy. So you're running him in World Tournament, Hybrid Saiyans, Goku Family, Sibling Bonds, Exploding Rage, can run him in Super Saiyan 2, really good in Defenders of Justice. Some of these are just, they can really help with this. The fact that you can just gain all this extra against an extreme class enemy, you've got this attacking nice. It does build up. It's a wonderful support. Fully built up, this guy is brilliant, but he's just not as good as this guy. Talked about this guy before. He's one of the best STR units going, and that's incredible considering this is his passive. So again, this guy, 30% chance to stun the enemy, but it's not really what you go for. You don't go for the super, you go to stick him in as a floater for the tough attacks. He has 58% to stats, which is good because it pars with the 58% damage reduction. These two together, outside of the most punishing in the game, they will absorb quite nicely. Even in the Gods of Destruction, I'm telling you, run the Majin Buu saga and you will not have problems with this guy. Typed neutral as well. And of course, a nice 2 key, 30% to stats. I can't really go into him even more because he's on one of the other videos, but let's just say that the Defenders of Justice and Hybrid Saiyans, you can do quite a lot of of a good one with that. Now, we have first place and third place, and that is AGL Hit and Demon King Piccolo, the LR. And in third place is Demon King Piccolo, the LR. No, I'm just joking, it's actually Hit. So Hit is going to be in third place. And the reason for it is this guy. I used him to complete the Extreme Super Battle Road versus Super STR. Now you got to use Extreme AGL. He is good, and he's a free-to-play World Tournament unit, but capable in some very difficult events. In one of my other videos, Extreme Super Battle Road versus Super Tech is one of the most difficult stages just due to the poor roster, but he can work out. And with key wise, now you're gonna struggle, but depending on how it works with you, he can really pull it off. Stack's attack, not going to be the main issue here. However, 30% chance to stun the enemy. But he also has a 50% to stun the enemy on attack, and that resets every turn as the first attacker. He also lowers the enemy's attack for 2 turns with a 30% chance to dodge as the second or third attacker. So if you don't fancy sticking him in slot 1 with the 50% chance to stun, you can stick him as a floater, which is primarily what I did against multiple enemies at first. Lower one of those attacks for 2 turns. Really just put the pain on one person, and then that just takes him out the fight. 20% for 2 turns. While it's not as much as some super attack effects, it's nothing to be trifled at. You can find that the 30% chance to dodge will come in handy, and of course can look after himself 100% at start of turn or 100% on super attack. Ain't gonna have much problems with him. He's really good. Works really well in Universe 6, Target Goku, Rapid Growth, Legendary Existence, and Accelerated Battle. These teams aren't the greatest, and especially Rapid Growth is just terrible. But again, Monotypes with Battle Road as well is really good. Battlefield also going to work out really well. And of course, lastly but not least, we now have the Demon King Piccolo. Again, I can't talk too much on this guy, basically because he's in my top 20 tech most helpful units. So we'll just go a quick briefer on this. But this guy, out of all the World Tournament summons, he is one of the rarest to get, as it is an LR basically, and there's only a few of us in there. We've got Piccolo, Tien, and Yamcha in there. So these guys are rare to pull, but they've been out for a while, so everyone had a chance to get them. And I believe on the last tournament, you actually had a chance to gain a copy or two just from actually completing some missions, which was very generous of them. Really good this unit, absolutely stunning, capable on a lot of good teams. Terrifying Conquerors of 3 key, 120% stats, 12 key raises attack and defense, his 18 key greatly raises. So of course, his nice attack per key sphere obtained is irrelevant. What we're really going for here, he has a 66% damage. Oh wait, going into this, so he has he reduces damage by 50% with 5 or more key spheres, any key spheres, and he's a tech orb changer. Now that's really, you have to let him 18 key first so he can get this 50% buff off. With his damage reduction, then this guy isn't taking that much damage. However, it's a little better in this form. Not too much, but it's a little bit better. There's a bit more attack, but not the point. So the damage received, he gets a flat out 66% for 5 turns, so it's slightly higher. From then on afterwards, it's 50% with the same moniker, 5 any 5 keys. And of course, he is a tech orb changer. Again, let this guy go first. Yes, in his transformation state, he does indeed have Thirst for Conquest. However, to get him to transform, it's either 7 turns or you need to be against a DB Saga, a tournament, or a DB Seeker's enemy. Now, that's hit and miss when you're going to do that, but for the long event, you'll get the 7 turns. Long event, 7 turns, damage reduction, greatly raising defense. Everyone's got a good chance to rainbow this guy by now. This guy is phenomenal out of here. So that's it. That is the top 10 best units that you can pull summonable from the World Tournament banner. All of the units are all really good, and there's some new ones that haven't had their awakenings yet, but we're all going to be excited to it. All of these I've used a lot. All of these I'm looking forward to use a lot from the new awakenings, but please, please don't underestimate any of these. They are crucial and valuable and offer so much. But until then, this is it for now. I hope you found this video in any way at least a bit enjoying or helpful. Until then, bye bye.